Hello, good morning. I hope that you're all well. I'm so sorry that I did not do a Flosstube from the Attic Needlework Summer School last weekend, but time just ran away with me. We were having such fun, and you have to cram so much into such a short period of time. It's over in a flash. I did post photographs on social media, and I did post a very special short video. Now, I am very conscious that a lot of the people that follow me on YouTube are not on social media. So I'm going to include that interview with Rebecca in this video. So I apologise if you saw it on our Instagram or Facebook page, but I think it's well worth watching again.
Okay, so there was a lady in our town who used to be a store owner who passed away at some point. I did not know her. And her husband donated all of her things, I think after some period of time, to our guild.
And your guild is?
Our guild is the Cardinal Guild in North Carolina. So I went to the sale, and there were thousands of patterns. I'm not kidding, I've never seen so many sampler patterns, except for at the attic. And scroll rods and threads and all kinds of things. So I bought a scroll rod, and I could see that there was something rolled up on it, but I didn't know what it was. And I got it home, and what was on it was,
oh my God,
the Joanne Harvey German band sampler, half stitched. So I decided I had to save the stitches, and this is the threads that bind fabric, and it's got the sampler pack in the middle.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So I took the band sampler, the part that was done, and I made bags all to match.
That's stunning. Oh, oh, I want this. Oh, that's so beautiful. You're killing me. Do you know what this lady's name was?
Her name was Peggy Constantino. There's the little needle book.
Oh, fantastic.
And there's one little piece left that's not finished that I'm going to make into a pincushion to match the whole set.
She made all this. She did.
Yeah, that's just amazing. You're
Last
so
weekend.
gifted. Do you sell project bags and
I
tote
don't
bags?
know. I'm thinking of doing it when I retire.
I think you should. They're beautiful.
Thank you very much. But yeah, I'm just sort of playing around with it now. So thank you. Thank you for letting me. Oh, the lace is vintage lace that I had. Yeah, and I just made little tassels with little buttons.
That's so lovely. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed that interview with Rebecca. I think it's such a special thing that she did. Now, this Flosstube, I had intended to show you all the things I acquired whilst I was at Summer School. There are lashings of linen, silks, project bags, fripperies, all sorts of things. But we've had a little bit of a mishap. Linda and I used one case for our acquisitions, and we had intended to redistribute them when we got to London, but we were so tired, and with one thing and t'other, we totally forgot. So Linda's got everything at home with her, but Linda's down with me in about a fortnight, and she will bring everything, and we plan to do a video together showing you all our goodies. The linen is just fabulous in particular. Anyway, this week we had a new release. Florence Law, 1899, Waste Not, Want Not. I think this sampler is just so touching and just so special. Like, you all know that I love red and I love a small red sampler. But what really pulled me to this sampler, where I just had to stitch this myself, was the saying, waste not, want not. My Nana was a wonderful lady, and she brought her children up single-handed when her husband died when she was very young, and the family had nothing. My Nana fed her family by taking in washing and mending and sewing and, you know, all sorts of things just to, you know, be able to provide for her children. And she never wasted anything. And she used to say, waste not, want not. So, you know, this was just a no-brainer for me. The sampler is stitched entirely in cross stitch over 2. So it is suitable for Ada and linen. There are some really lovely little dividing bands that will keep your needle interested. Some really little, pretty little geometric patterns, some hearts, a cross. Then you've got this really beautiful font here. And we actually know that BNS stands for the school that Florence attended. Now, where's my book? Here we go. She attended the Belgrave National School, and Florence Agnes Law was born on March the 6th, 1886. So she was 13 when she stitched this sampler. In the 1901 census, Florence, at the age of 15, is recorded as a pupil teacher. She had been identified as one of the bright pupils, and she was given the opportunity to become a teacher. And they did this through a 5-year apprenticeship. And they were known as pupil teachers. They would receive a lesson from the headmaster, and then they in turn would teach that lesson to other students. And pupil teachers began at the age of 13. So when Florence stitched this sampler, she was most probably already a pupil teacher. Now, by 1911, Florence had qualified, and she was living in Melton Mowbray, and she was boarding in a small hotel, and there was another teacher boarding in the house, Leonard Haresine Kirk, and they married in 1915 in Belgrave. Now, when a female teacher married at that time, she was no longer allowed to work as a teacher. She had to resign, and if she didn't resign, she was dismissed. That didn't change until 1944, and that's shocking. 1944, that was during the war. Now, Leonard died after they were married for just 6 years in 1921, and we know that he died of injuries received in the First World War. Like, obviously the First World War ended in 1919, but he died 2 years later. So it must have been something, I don't know, maybe he was gassed or something like that. They had no children, and Florence never remarried. We know that at some stage she was living with her father-in-law in Yorkshire, but we know nothing further of her life from that time until the time she died in 1957 in the General Hospital in Leicester. You know, her widowhood was a very, very long one. That's it's very touching, Florence's story. Now, this little sampler is 138 stitches by 131 stitches. I stitched my model to hang on my sampler wall on 56 count, but this is the original Florence, And as you can see, if I hold this up, this was stitched on a very low count. I'm really pleased with how this linen that I chose to stitch the model on is an exceptionally good match for the linen that Florence chose. And the linen that I stitched this on was creme brulee from Tabby Cat linen. If you stitched your little sampler on 14 count Aida 28 count linen, it would be 9.86 by 9.36. If you stitched the sampler on 18 count Aida 36 count linen, it would be 7.67 inches by 7.28. And if you stitched it on 20 count Aida 40 count linen, she would be 6.9 by 6.55. A really adorable size for anybody's sampler wall. I hope you enjoy her. She hangs in my breakfast room. And when I look at this sampler, I always think of my Nana, who I absolutely adored and I spent a lot of time with when I was a very young child. Okay, so stitching wise this week, this was, ooh, what have I done with that? I must have dropped that somewhere. Oh no, here it is. Okay, so this little sampler, Elizabeth Garrett Wells, March 3rd, 1799, is a little Norfolk sampler. When I bought this sampler, I wondered if this was a snippet of a much larger sampler, but when I took her out of the frame to have a little peek, you can see that this is the whole of the original sampler. So this was my travel project, and I put my first stitches in at the Sofitel Hotel at Terminal 5 Heathrow the night before, oh sorry, not the night, the afternoon before Linda and I flew to the attic, and I put the last stitches in about half an hour into our flight home from Arizona. So there's the original, and here is my little model, which I'm looking forward to taking to the framers and choosing a frame for. I really enjoyed all these lovely sort of geometric patterns. I love all these little hearts that make up what is very much a flower shape. And we've actually found Elizabeth in family history records, which again makes this sampler all the more special for me. This is stitched on Wood Smoke by Tabby Cat linen using Auvera Soie 103 silks, and it was just so easy stitching from one spool whilst I was travelling. Really pleased with this little sampler. Now, before I went away, I had started Jessie Anderson, and I showed you Jessie in my previous Flosstube. Now, I couldn't wait to get home and carry on stitching her, and she is really coming together very, very nicely. This over-dyed linen is just, it's fabulous, and when this is framed, this linen is going to look even more amazing. It's giving this sampler soul, age and character. I just love this grungy linen from Tabby Cat linen. Now, this linen has not been released yet. This is a brand new colour from Tabby Cat linen, and this will be released sometime in October, and when it is, I will let you know what the name is, and it will be available to order from Tabby Cat linen and Needlework stores that stock this linen. Now, this little sampler, you might think, well, I'm stitching this in an odd way. Now, I started this sampler in top left hand corner, which is my favourite place to stitch, and I came across a bit and down a bit, and then I started to fill in, like this was one thread, Then I started to work my way down, and I just dived off, and I actually put each letter in, because I didn't want to have any miscounted and get to the bottom, and then when I started to fill in, realise I'd gone wrong. So I wanted to get the whole border in, but I wanted to do it right the first time so that there was no frogging. So I started the border, then got my dividing line in, got some letters in, and then worked my way down, adding a letter, a dividing band. This one I did 3 because I just had plenty of floss on my needle. Now, and then when I came to this point, I did 1 letter all the way down, and then I finished off my border, and then I've worked my way up, and this was the last bit of stitching I did yesterday evening. These eyelets look so pretty on this linen, and when you work eyelets with a Verosoir 103, they are so crisp. And the other thing I like with 103, because it's a robust silk, you can it stitches very well for Algerian eyelets. It'll take the tension of creating this lovely lacy effect, getting the holes in your linen, by applying tension. I always use my little finger on the thread to put some tension into my stitching. Really, really pleased with this. And I love the saying, be true and just in all you do or say. That's a wonderful motto to live life by. I might finish this tonight if I settle down early enough, but I'm not going to rush. I'm sure it will be finished by tomorrow night. And then I have something really, really adorable to start. This is the next project, which you can't wait to get to. Anyway, I'm very, very pleased with this one. Okay, so what else have we got? Well, I've made some purchases, but I want to talk about something else before then. I don't know if you remember, but a few months back, a group of school children visited Hobby House Needleworks as part of their curriculum. Now, I don't understand the American education system, but if I understand it right, it was a course that normally they would have done something different, but because of COVID, the course changed a little bit. Anyway, a group of school children went to Hobby House and they learned a little bit about samplers, and Kathy and David had asked me if I would talk to the girls via Zoom about samplers, which I did, and they were just delightful young ladies. And the conversation came up that their prom was this year, and we were talking about maybe embellishing their prom dresses with a little bit of embroidery. And the girls promised to send me some photographs. Well, when I got back from the States, I had this wonderful, wonderful envelope, and it was all they'd been creative. They put some wonderful stickers on, and they put some hearts in, and there were some lovely stickers on the back, and I thought, gosh, what's inside this? Well, inside it was this little folder. Creativity is something giving. I can't quite read that. I can't read it. But anyway, when I opened the folder, there were some photographs of these 2 beautiful, gorgeous young ladies in their prom dresses. And it just touched me. It touched me so much that they remembered that our little time spent together via Zoom meant enough to them that they went to this trouble. And there were some envelopes inside, again, all sort of beautifully done. And there was some cards, and it was some little thank you messages, which was just really, really nice. And, you know, it just really touched me. And inside, because I love red, there was a little needle minder for me as well, of a red spool of thread. So that was just so precious for me, and I just really, really loved it. Before I forget, whilst I was away, I received an email from a needleworker about Sarah Brazier, and I promised to get back to this needleworker when I got home. And when I got home, I did what they asked me to do, and I went to reply to the email, and I can't find it. I believe it was an email. It may have been a message. I honestly can't quite remember because of everything that went on when I was away. So if you are the person that contacted me in the last week or so about Sarah Brazier, please will you contact me, and I apologise that I have mislaid your previous message. Okay, right. This week, Hobby House Needleworks announced that they have have available the hand and lock cases. Now, what's new about this is that Hand and Lock released these cases. The small case came in red and teal, and only the big case came in teal. But Hobby House Needleworks have available this large case in this beautiful red. Well, I was so excited that I just couldn't get my credit card out quick enough to order them, and I did buy more than one. I'm afraid I did a little bit of Christmas shopping. You know, this shade of red is just fabulous, and these cases are great. With the big case, let me just show you. I have to sit down to do this. On the inside, they have these little straps that you can use to hold scissors and all sorts of tools. You could even put spools of thread or skeins of thread in this, but I like to keep my scissors in this top section. Then you have a lift out section, and you can keep scissors on the inside as well. I tend to keep a selection of needles and needlework tools on the inside. Then the other side, you have these pockets, and you can keep spools of thread in them. And in this one, I keep a little corner gauge. Now you can put this in your box that way or that way. It doesn't make any difference. And then in the bottom of this box, you have some little compartments, and they have little lids which fasten down. In this one, you actually have a little pin cushion that you can use when your case is open and you're working from it. You have this little flap on here, which again you can use to put needles in if you wish. And then this little section doesn't have a lid, but it does have a strap to secure things. So this is available on the Hobby House Needleworks website in small in the red and small in the teal. And what is different, you now have not only the large in the teal, but you have the large red, which for me, it's just amazing. It's the perfect colour for me. Now, what Hobby House have done, they have some beautiful charms for your zipper pull, and these are made by Minnie McBean. So when these were announced, I rang Sue up. I said, Sue, I've got to have these charms. So the reason why I've got these charms before anybody's else is that I'm very lucky Sue lives 5 minutes from my house. I love cherries, I love red, so The cherry charm was perfect, and it just adds a little bit of extra. Somebody said on social media that I must be a magpie because I love shiny things. Yep, I do. I love shiny things, but I hope that my taste in shiny things is not over the top, but it's tasteful. So you can order these cherry ones on the Hobby House Needleworks website. They're the only people that have got these, as I understand from Sue. And if you go onto the page for the red cases, there's a link to add these to your order, but also you can just go onto Hobby House Needleworks and just search McBean's or Mini, and you will see these little charms. Now, they also, I don't think they're showing these, but Sue tells me that Hobby House will have them, and you can email Kathy and you can go for the Daisy and the Ladybird charm. I love this one. Look at that pretty little flower. And then the little Ladybird on the Daisy. So I got that one. Kathy also does a really beautiful it's like Diamante locket, but unfortunately Sue didn't have one for me to have when I popped round her house. So those are the only two that I can actually show you at the moment, but I will be having the heart charm as well. The locket, as Sue was telling me, the locket actually opens and you can put something inside it, which I just think is adorable. When I was at the attic, somebody showed me a book, and it was called Ladies First, Common Threads. And this book comes in paperback and hardback. I had to order it in hardback. And it's basically, let me just read it. How this book is stitched together. To get you hooked on history, this book unravels stories about 18 First Ladies of the United States who could knit, crochet, embroider, quilt, cross-stitch or sew, or even used a sewing machine a few times. That's one of the common threads. You'll find in each chapter a story, biography, and then a visit section where you can travel to learn more in both the virtual and real worlds. These pages also contain a patchwork of images that contribute to the fabric of American history, collected from the helpful hands at work in our nation's various libraries, museums, and historic homes. It's really, really lovely. There's an introduction, and then it starts with Martha Dandridge Curtis Washington. It goes through 18 First Ladies Needleworks, which is just amazing. There's actually a sampler. Hold on. This is Abigail Adams' sampler. Anyway, I'm really enjoying this book. It only arrived on, when did it arrive? Thursday. So Thursday night and Friday night, I started to read some chapters, and it's so interestingly written. It's really, really good. So that was a book I highly recommend. Ladies First, Common Threads by Deborah Scalia. I can't pronounce that surname, but there it is. You can freeze the video and write it down. You can also freeze the video and get down the ISBN number as well. Really, really enjoyed this, or I am enjoying it. Okay, so some of the things that I did bring back, I was gifted this beautiful wooden scissor block by some very, very dear friends, and this travelled back in my tote bag with me. It didn't matter how heavy it was, this was travelling back in my tote bag. Look at these beautiful woods. And this actually matches some other pieces of wood that I have got in my house. So this is going to sit perfectly. One of my friends' husbands make these, and there's the facility to keep 3 scissors in. Just so beautiful. They know how much I love this and how much it meant to receive this beautiful gift. Now, in the scissor block, I have got a scissor fob. It's red, it's shiny, it's perfect for me, and this is beautifully made. Really lovely, so tastefully done. Isn't that gorgeous? And this was a gift from, now let me just get this right. I was trying to keep everything just so that I didn't make any mistakes. Where is that? Oh, no. Just a moment, I'll be back in a second. I'm sorry about that. I put this little message that came with the gift in my memories box, and I thought I had got it back out this morning, but I left it by the side of my memories box. This is from The Heart, Needlework Art by Wendy. And there was a really lovely little message inside here, which is going to be in my memory box. In the scissor block, I have got 2 beautiful pins to add to my collection. They have magnetic tops and they sit in my great big pin cushions. This one was a sheep, which I thought was adorable and very different to anything else I had. And then this one, well, I'm not quite sure what that is, but I still thought that was absolutely pretty. I don't think it's meant to be anything in particular other than a beautiful arrangement of gorgeous beads. I love these. I did buy more, but I think that's in the things that Linda has. Oops. Because they're magnetic, they go together. Let me put those there. And I'll put those in my big pin cushion. So I have here a collection of counting pins. This is beautiful. Look at those. And this is a gift from the attic, and it's Treasures from the Attic, handmade by Jersey Girl Stitch Company, and it came with special floss drops celebrating summer school. So it came with a lovely selection of those, and I believe that this was a gift from the attic. It was quite amazing. Jean is just so generous. Literally, every time you get up from your seat and you go back, there's another gift there waiting for you. There was just so many wonderful little treasures. This is gorgeous. This is made by LaDonna, Sampling of Memories. And I adore LaDonna's products. They're all really very beautiful. And this says on the one side, where samplers rule the attic. And then on the other side, you've got what's probably taken from a Bristol sampler, but I'm not sure about that. That's really lovely. I love these double-sided cabochons. I think that's really very nice. Nice weight to that. And I believe that Jean sells these at the attic. Let me just put this back properly so I know what's what. My memory is terrible, and if I don't have things written down or put together, I do forget. Now this was a gift from Polly Kalish. This is very pretty. You've got these gorgeous assorted floss drops that are all coordinated to hang together. Really pretty, and again shiny. See, I love shiny things. And then the little ring has shiny card in it as well, which is so pretty. And then we've got a cactus, which obviously is associated with Arizona, and you have 2022. So that's a beautiful reminder of summer school 2022, or a visit to the attic in 2022. Some more little pins, and these are just adorable, really, really adorable. Look at those, beautiful butterfly, and then look at that gorgeous, gorgeous bead, and how those shine as well, or shimmer I should say. And these are also by Teresa. Come on. I'm sorry, Teresa, I'm hopeless at names. At Jersey Girl Stitch Company. So there we are, you can freeze it and write it down. Jean has a beautiful selection of counting pins at the attic, and I've always, every time I go, I always buy some counting pins, and I've built up a really lovely collection over the years. They're just like little keepsakes of your visit. Okay, this was a gift from a friend. It's a wrist ruler, which is quite handy actually, and it's very on trend, having you know, bracelets that you can twist around your arm. I wear a lot of multi-layered bracelets that you can twist around, and of course mine had to be red. Love that very, very much. I can't believe I haven't got all this wonderful stuff to show you in this video. Trouble is, the journey back is so long that, you know, by the time you get to Heathrow, you're tired. Now, this was a gift from a friend, and it's a strawberry with my initial on, and it says here friend, which is just so beautiful. And again, I collect strawberries, and this is a lovely addition to my strawberry collection, very different to anything else I've got. So she knows how much I love this. I really, really do. And this has been made, I believe, from a handkerchief. I think that's a handkerchief that had the letter N embroidered on it. Very, very beautiful. I was given some more strawberries, but again, they're in Linda's suitcase. I had a little, pretty little gift of some wax in this gorgeous tin with this lovely little charm on it. I don't know who makes it, but it's very, very pretty, and it was a very thoughtful gift. Okay, so what should have been a really long bumper video is a little bit shorter than expected, but it does mean that we've got another video full of goodies to look forward to in about a fortnight. Thank you so much for listening to me, and with regards to Florence, she is available on the Hands Across the Sea Samplers website as a printed booklet or as an instant PDF download, and from Needlework stores around the world as a printed booklet. Now, we released her on the Thursday, and the orders that came in on Thursday and Friday, I could not post on Friday because we had a national post strike where the postmen were on strike. But any orders that came in up to early Saturday morning were posted on Saturday. Now, tomorrow, Monday, is a national holiday, so any orders that are made as a result of this Flosstube, or tomorrow, will get posted first thing on Tuesday morning. Oh, I know what I wanted to say. When I go to the attic, I always like to bring some samplers that have not been released so that the attendees at the event can have a little treat of having something early. And there were several samplers that I took to the attic that you could only buy at the attic that weekend, or, after the event from the attic. But all of those samplers will be released in the weeks ahead as printed booklets from Needlework stores around the world, or as instant PDF downloads and printed booklets from the Hands Across the Sea Samplers, the HATS website. We will have another release this Thursday, so keep an eye open for that. Okay, right, I'm going to go and see to my husband. He's poorly. He put his back out yesterday, and do you know what? It's just turning one way unexpectedly and your back goes. That's what's happened. So I've got my nurse's outfit back out. It's had a lot of use over the last 12 months. Anyway, thank you all. I love you all so much. My needlework friends, you enrich my life beyond what I ever expected. So thank you. Bye-bye.